Hello and welcome to taik18. I'm Mohammed Adnan, and in this video we are going to discuss about how we are going to load the data into a warehouse. Like we discussed in our previous videos, like in the medallion architecture, for example, we are going to load our semi-structured, unstructured, structured data, everything as a raw data into a raw layer in the lakehouse. And from the lakehouse, we are moving into different layers. But now, if in your case, if you want to move your data from your lakehouse into a warehouse, there are plenty of ways in Fabric. That is the beauty of Fabric. But today we are going to talk how we are going to do this using TSQL statement. If you are from SQL background, then this will be a good video for you in order to make the data, move the data from lakehouse to the warehouse using TSQL statement. Before going into that in deeper, if you're new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. Now let's get started. As you can see it on my screen, load data into a warehouse. In Microsoft Fabric, Data Warehouse provides a relational database for large-scale analytics, unlike the default read-only SQL endpoint for tables defined in the Lakehouse. A data warehouse provides full SQL semantics, including the ability to insert, update, and delete data in the tables. That's the beauty of the data warehouse in Fabric. So as usual, first of all, we need to create a workspace in our Power BI or Fabric tenant, and then we can create a folder like I did here. And after that, we can add items inside to that. So I'm just opening up this folder, load data into warehouse into SQL. So first of all, we need to get the data into a lakehouse. From that lakehouse, we need to use TSQL statement to write it into a warehouse. So for that, we need to click on new, and then we need to click on, first of all, we need to go here and then change the workload for that. So for example, if you want to have the lakehouse, then we can click on the data engineering side here and then go again to the workspace. Here we can click on the new, and then we have option to create a lakehouse. So once the lakehouse is created here, if I open up the lakehouse, we can give it a name, as simple as that. If you haven't seen the video about how we can discuss about the lakehouse, how we can create the lakehouse and all, I have made a separate video series on this. You can go and check out that video as well. So first of all, we need to get the data from this one as we are following up this learn document. If I scroll down to this one, then they have given a location where we have this CSV file from the GitHub. So you can click on this file section, three dot icon, and then click on upload, and then we have upload files option. So once you click on that, then you need to click on here. I just downloaded the file from the GitHub location, and from there I have pasted here and manually uploaded those files from here. That is what we can do that. And then if you want to directly get the data from that GitHub and then load it into a lakehouse before this one, in that case, you can watch my previous video about the data flow gen 2, from where you can get the data from multiple different sources. And if you want to do the transformation over there, then you can do that. If you don't, then you can directly load into a destination of the lakehouse in that. So that's also a beautiful thing which you can do in Fabric. And this is a demo stage only focusing on lakehouse to warehouse. So that's why we are manually uploading the files here. So after uploading the files, if you click on the files folder here, then you can see we have a sales.csv. So in the three dot icon, if you click on this one, you have a load to tables as a new table or existing table. So here, if you click on existing table, then this is going to load the data inside to this staging tables. But for example, if I click on the new table, then I can define a name here. So I'd like to define the name of this one sales, for example, 2024-0605. And it has the column headers on that CSV file, and it has a comma separated value. It automatically detects those features, but if it is not, then you can also manually change the values here. And then click on load. Then it's going to create a new table, delta table for you. As you can see, we have a triangle icon, which means it is a delta table. So while this is working on, if I click on the existing table which we have, staging underscore sales, here it has a given clear information about what are the columns which we have, and also it has automatically detected the data type of the column. That's beautiful. You can see we have a ABC here, and this is 1 to 3, and this is order date. Looks good. It's still processing. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, it is now completed successfully. That's correct. And if I click on this new table here, yeah, it is loading the same information because we are using the same Excel file, CSV file, and also the data type of each and every column is also changed from ABC here, 1 to 3, and order date here. That's amazing. And now what we need to do. So for now, we need to click on go back to the workspace, and then we need to create a warehouse because we need to deploy from Lakehouse to warehouse. For that, you need to click on new and then click on the warehouse option at the bottom, but make sure you are into the data engineering workload. So once you click on that warehouse, you just need to enter the name of the warehouse, then it will open up like this. So this will be similar to what we have it on the SQL Management Studio here. So first of all, we need to click on new queries, and in the new query, we need to create schema and table structure for that. And also we need to create a relationship between the tables if you want. So for that, they have given the script on the learn document itself. So I will just open up that same thing here. So once you click on the new query on the top, then you can able to open up this blank window, and then from here you can add that. And it's going to add each and every queries, whatever you are using up here at the bottom of this menu here on the left hand side. So you can just click on the three dot icon, you can rename this one, you can duplicate this one. So click on that, then it's going to open up this here. So what are the steps which I have taken, which I have done on this warehouse is basically, as you can see, we have the schemas options, and from here we have a sales schema. So we can click on, I mean, write this create schema sales. If you are from SQL background, then you can easily doable here. And after that, we are creating three different tables: dim customer, dim item, and fact sales inside to this one. This is going to just creating a table. We are not going to add any data as of now. So if not exists, select star from sys table. When name, we are just checking the name available on the sys table information about the fact sales or not on the schema of the sales. If it is not available, then this is going to create a new table for the fact sales with all these column reference here. So this is the schema and this is the table name, and we have a customer ID, varchar 255 and not null. And then item ID, sales order number respectively. We have a date, we have an integer, quantity, tax amount, unit price, and everything. Similarly, we need to create also the other things. This is for the dummy purpose, I mean demo purpose. So we have a dim customer, and then we also have another one which is dim item. So three tables. But here we can also order a table. You can also add constraint here, which is the primary key for this one, and it's a non-clustered column and not edgeable. So we can set up whatever we want to have, create a tables and everything. We don't have any kind of UI to create a table here, but in the sense we can have the option to do this one kind of thing. What to say? The script option. So even if I click on the three dot icon, we have option about new tables. And also on the new query, if you click on this one, we have a templates of the schema, table, view, or stored procedure. We can also make use of that. If I click on the table here, for example, then you see it is just giving the template create table in the warehouse name and then schema name and then the table name. And then it's just giving as a column reference for that. So we need to manually enter each and every column data type table name for that based on our requirement. And at the bottom, you can see I just click on the new query and then used the option to be table here, right? So it has automatically given a name as SQL query 2. And also at the bottom, you can see on the left side, we also have a SQL query 2. It means it is adding up each and everything here. We don't need to worry about that. It's not going to save the information. It's actually going to save that information. That is also one of the beauty here. All right, let me close this one. And so we need to create these kind of schemas here. So once we're done with the schema, what is the next thing? So next thing is we need to get the data from the lakehouse into the warehouse. How can we do that? So we can do that by creating a view or using a select statement itself. So now we can see we have a select star from, and this is actually the lakehouse which I have, that schema, the default schema which is DBO, and then the data table here. And if I run this one, just alone this one, so this is actually now connecting through SQL endpoints of the Lakehouse and getting the data here. That's beautiful, right? So we can get the information from the cross databases here. Right now it's connecting to Lakehouse and we're getting the data here. And after this one, once we created the view here, and if I go up a little bit, so here if I expand the view section, now I have the staging sales view also available here. And finally, we need to create a procedure, stored procedure, which is one of my favorite in SQL, because we can do a lot of things using the stored procedure here. So what we're doing up here, load data from staging. So that's the kind of stored procedure. And we just want to load by year of the information. So load data into customer dimension table from the view of the Lakehouse. So insert into sales dim customer, which is this table on the warehouse. And I'm selecting the distinct customer name, email address from the sales staging, where year is equal to order date, which you're using the parameter for the stored procedure. And if it not exists, select one from dim customer where the sales staging customer. We are using this kind of statement in order to get the data. If I run this one for now, and then let's copy this and open the other query, which is click on new query here and paste this one. Instead of this, if I just want to add what is the year here, 2020, for example, I'm not sure if I have the value, but let's see. Yeah, it has the value. So it has written 1295 records here. And these are the information which it has bring up here, customer name, and then we have the email ID here. So if I look into this one, we have a distinct customer name, and email address from this table where this one is equal to this one. So it is actually cross verifying with this one from the sales customer. If this customer name, which is come up here, let me bring up here. Yeah, like for example, the Seth Brown, if it is already available on the dim customer, then this is not going to bring up here. That's really great thing, because the customer master is actually the master, right? We should not have to have a repeated values for the customer. So that's the reason we are checking the value if it is available there on the customer table or not. If it is not available, then it is going to show up on the select statement here. Similarly, if I open up this SP here, and it is going to take only the unique values, even if we load the new data into the Lakehouse, and when we run this stored procedure, it's going to check that information on the new data as well, and check for if the customer is available there or not. If it is not available, then only it will come up on the select statement, and it's going to insert that into sales.in customer. This is SQL script where you can do that. And similarly, we need to use the same thing for the dim item as well, because that's also dimension product, which is item master. And here also doing the same step, item from the sales, and also the order filtered by year, order date here, and also not existing from the dim sales. I mean, from the dim item table here. So now we are done with the dimension tables. Now, if you look into the find internet sales, so insert into sales table, which we are using up all the necessary columns here. And here we are not taking any duplicate here, because if you are running the information again and again, then definitely it's going to append the data on the fact sales table. So if you want to avoid that, then either you can delete the data earlier for that particular year from the dim sales table, I mean fact sales table, and then you can load this stuff here. So if you want to know how to do that, then it is easy actually. So what you need to do here, the name of the table here is sales fact sales. So I'd like to add a statement here, which can be like hyphen dash dash, and then delete the data from the warehouse, from the table. Delete data from sales table. So we have a simple statement which is delete from this table. All right. And then if I need to just copy this one, where year equal to this one. So if we add this statement on within the stored procedure, add this going one by one, in that case, this is going to delete the data for that particular year from the fact sales table, and then it's going to insert a new record here, because we have not added any kind of statement like it does not exist kind of thing. Right, so it's not going to append the data, it's not going to have a duplicate of the data on even on the fact sales, it's going to have only the new data in the fact sales information. All right, so once we are done with this stored procedure, we can execute this stored procedure. And then if you look into the data on this one, the dim customer, for example, now we can see the option which we have a dim customer name and email address here. Similarly, in the fact sales table, what we are going to see here. We have a customer ID and the customer ID, the item ID, sales order number, and everything which is showing up here. Even though it is a customer ID, but still it is a customer name. But if you want to further customize that, you want to pick the information from the DIM customer and load only the ID from here. Like for example, we have a customer name separately. If you want to generate an ID column for that, then that's a different process. I think we have covered that in the medallion architecture procedure, how we can do that using a notebook activity. You can also check out that way. We can get the data from the lakehouse and load into all the transformation and load into a different lakehouse for that. If you want me to do this also in the SQL statement, please let me know in the comment section below. I will try to make a new video on that, how we can do all this kind of process over there. These kind of access can also be done using data flow gen 2. That's also a kind of little bit long process, but that is also doable using the data flow gen 2. Even if you want me to do that, please let me know in the comment section below so that I can also cover in future. So if I look into this documentation, we have this stored procedure and everything. So we need to execute this stored procedure finally. So exec, and then we are able to load the data into the respective tables. And finally, if you want to query something, then also we can do that. So for example, if I go to the bottom here, we have other things. So this is the execute stored procedure thing where we can execute with the year as a parameter, which are going to pass here. Then this is going to fetch the data from the lakehouse and then loading it into the warehouse. So if I click on the select star from DIM customer and execute this run here, then this is going to give me the value of that. Yeah. So now if I copy and paste from the document here and load this one, if I run this statement, what actually is this? Select customer name, unit price into quantity with total sales. From the fact sales, join the customer table and year equal 2021. So for the year 2021 is going to give the list of customers with the total sales value from them. So if I expand this one, now you can see we have a customer name and we also have a total sales here. How beautiful it is. So I think we are covered for this one. And even if you want to do the further customization with the help of CTE, I made a separate video on the TSQL series. Actually, it contains like 10 to 14 videos on that. So it can cover from basics to advanced topic as well. So if you haven't done that, I recommend you to go and watch that series. It is available free on the YouTube and also on my website. So you can just check it out on that to learn further more depth on SQL statement. So this is the one which I copied is the CT, which we call it as the common table expression. We can also copy that from here and then paste into our reference. So click here, testing on this one. Yeah, paste, and then if I click on run. So it is now giving the information about category, customer name, and total sales. What is actually it is doing up here? So if I read this statement, not yet, because this gives a clear picture about the colors and all. So it is taking a common table expression, which is the CTE, and then using the statement about helmet, bikes, and clothes from the category on the fact sales and taking the sales value. So we are just taking up those information here for the year 2021. That's it. But now we are just making this into a rank, which is we are using the row number partitioned by category and sum of sales by descending order. And finally, we are picking up the first value. Okay. So the result of this one is actually for each and every category, what is the highest sales and who is the customer for that. So for the bike, actually total sales is 318 and the customer is Carson Butler, and for total sales for helmet is 209.94 and it's Haley Peterson for that. So this also we can do in SQL using the CTE statement for that, which is a kind of temporary table for that. So here, the CTE, what we have created here, we can create a view, and this view can be utilized in the Power BI semantic model. So here you can also see we have a model view, so that we have a data tab, and so far we are working on the query tab, and now we have a table view here. I mean the model view. So here, if you click on this one, it is loading up the information, and on the top we have a reporting tool. So as I discussed earlier, so we should not have to create the report on the default semantic model. Instead of that, we need to create a new semantic model because it is the default one, and we can see all the other things available here, which is not required for our reporting purpose. So we can just click on the new semantic model, and then we can build the report on top of that. So clicking on this one, we have these three tables. And if you want to add also the another one, which we recently added here, right, like this one, yeah, this is the query. So we need to click on the top. So here we can create an information about create view, or we can just select this statement. And on the top, we have the option about create view. Usually you should get an option about create view anyway. So you can just select on create view and give the name. For example, top customer by category as that is. Select on this one and run this one. Order by we don't need to use this one. Yeah, that's totally fine. On the bottom, right. So selecting everything and click on run. It is now completed successfully. So if I again now click on the model tab, and then if I look for the tables what we have, or else you can click on the reporting and click on new semantic model. Now I should see inside to the sales, I can have a tables and the views. If I expand the tables, I can see the dim customer, and then we have a dim item, dim factor. But if I expand the view, then I should see the two views also here. But for the view, actually, we haven't defined the schema. That is actually the reason for that. So if I go back to the query tab here, and if I expand the Explorer on the left-hand side, if I go to the top here a little bit, yeah, it is good to create with the schema every time. If I refresh on the schema tab, and if I expand the view on the D view and click on view, now you see we have a top customer on this part. So let's click on this one, and we need to delete this actually. So we can use the drop statement. That's not a problem. But here, before to that, let's click on, come back here again. Let's create a sales dot top customer. It's going to create now the top customer inside of the sales schema here. And if you want to delete the default one, you can just delete everything, drag and drop onto the canvas. Yeah, that's totally fine. So now we have this one, so we can use the drop view and then DBO with the schema name and the view name. Select here and then click on run. It's going to delete that view from here. Now you can see it here. It is removed from the DBO schema. And if I expand to this sales schema, scroll down, now you can have it of sales customer here. All right, if I click on the model view now, and then now we should see also the other one. I click on reporting and click on new semantic model, expand the sales schema, expand the views here. Now I should see also the other one, which is top customer by category. That's beautiful. So you can select any one of those, and then you can build the Power BI report on top of that. I just want to quickly show you here. So it's selecting only for this particular thing. So sales by category. Let's assume that this is only the particular business requirement and this is on this particular one. So clicking on confirm. So this is going to create a new semantic model for me, and then I can build the Power BI report on top of that. So this is how the model look like. And if you have multiple tables, then you can add a relationship between here. You can also create a calculation group. You can also create a new measure here. But the new column and new table is not visible here. The reason is because if I mouse over here, it is saying us direct link. So this is a new kind of connection which we have on the storage mode, the direct link connection. So it means we are not able to create new columns and new table as of now. Maybe it will come in future. So when you click on this one, new report is going to open up a new tab. With this, you can fill up Power BI desktop. And here we can use this graph, category, and total sales. That's good. And if I add another one, which is like any one of those here, customer name and total sales. Yeah, that's beautiful. So you can click on save this one to save this report here. So it has to be under the folder. That's now a great thing. So it given option, even we can select the workspace, and then we can also select the folders where you want to save this information. That's also a great one. So we need to give it a name here, top sales category sales. All right, click on save. Now if I go to the workspace, yeah, this is the report. Clicking on this one, loading into this one, and now we can able to see everything in one single place. This is great. All right, so this is all about how we can get the data into the Lakehouse and then do the transformation in TSQL and load it into a warehouse. If you like this video, just hit the big thumbs up button. If you're new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. But make sure you turn on the notification on your devices. Share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any queries and feedback, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. See you in the next video.